Hey guys, how you doing? Scott here. Welcome to the Rogue Review. And so it's May the 4th. May the 4th be with you. And so I thought this is the perfect time to put out my Star Wars The Force Awakens review, because I saw Star Wars The Force Awakens at the cinema before I started this channel, and I've just bought it on Blu-ray, which is really exciting watching it again. I saw it 7 times at the cinema, 7 times, and I love this film. It's great, and it's great to finally have a continuation of the story, which left off at Return of the Jedi. And so yeah, Star Wars The Force Awakens. It takes place 30 years after the events of Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. And the opening crawl just sums up the film in one line. Luke Skywalker has vanished. He's vanished. He's gone. Where's he gone? We don't know. And that's the adventure we go on in this film. We follow some new characters. We follow a character called Rey. She's a scavenger that lives on the desert planet of Jakku, and she lives independently. She lives in a toppled AT-AT, which is one of the large walkers from the Battle of Hoth in Empire Strikes Back, you might remember. And so she lives one of those. She goes scavenging, and she sells the parts for food, and that's her existence. And we see inside her AT-AT, while she's making herself dinner, that she makes these marks on a wall, and we see this wall, and it's got all these marks in it, and she's counting days till what? Well, when the droid BB-8 shows up, she basically says she's waiting for her family. Now we follow another character in this film, and it's a unique take on a stereotype, archetype in the Star Wars universe, a stormtrooper. We follow a stormtrooper called Finn, and basically he's part of this slaughter in a village at the beginning, and he decides, screw this, I'm out of here, and he gets out of there, and ends up bumping into Rey. And they go on an adventure together, which is really exciting. And what I really love about this film is that it both subverts and embraces sort of the gender archetypes and these sort of sci-fi fantasy films, in that, you know, both Rey and Finn, sort of dual protagonists, you know, they sometimes one of them is the hero and the other one's the damsel in distress that the other has to save, and then they swap around, so it's never stereotypical. It's sort of keeping you guessing as to sort of who is the main character of the story out of the two of them, and also you don't know what's going to happen, you know, because it's not following that familiar formula for the characters. So it's really exciting seeing these guys go about. Like, their chemistry is just amazing. It's off the charts. And the chemistry with BB-8, this little droid, it's not CGI, by the way. Like, it's a real prop that they use some CGI in post-production with. And they just have great chemistry with him. It's a really funny film. It's most likely the most funniest Star Wars film, and the Star Wars prequels did a lot to damage the Star Wars legacy. I'm not a fan. Maybe one day I shall review those. Probably not. But anywho, back to this one. As I said about the whole swapping, our expectations for these characters are going to be like. The bad guy, Kylo Ren, is not a stereotypical Darth Vader-like bad guy. Like, when he finds out bad news, you know, he doesn't stand all stoic and give orders to people or choke people out. He starts slashing up the control panels and getting really angry. And under the mask, he just looks like a normal dude, you know? So it's really interesting. It's not sort of what you expect. Certainly not what I expected. I expected a fun adventure in the Star Wars universe, and what I got was a story that really surprised me with the characterization, which is what's most important to me. What's most important to me is character, which I think this film gets right. You know, a lot of people complain that they think it's a bit too similar to A New Hope, but because I'm so attached and so on board with these characters, you know, I'm going on their journey with them, you know, and so I'm not thinking about these comparisons until we get to the trench run at the end, where I'll give it to people, it's a little bit similar to A New Hope and the end of that. I don't really care about the X-Wing fighters going through the trenches like I cared about Luke. If it was Rey in the cockpit, I'd totally be with her, but it's more scenery in the background, and what's up close is the battle between Rey and Kylo Ren. And really, in that fight, when Finn fights Kylo Ren and gets knocked down, and Rey catches the saber, that's telling us she's the main character. She is the main character of this story. And people, again, talking about character, people complain that she is a Mary Sue and that she's just great at everything, And I think if it was a dude in a place, who was just great at everything, I don't think people would have much of a problem. I don't think there's any problem with it. I think there's a lot of mystery. I think the fact that she can do lots of stuff, asks questions, good questions, it provokes these questions in us of how can she do that? Like, why is she good at that? And there's more to her character than what's being let on. And we've got to remember that this is the first chapter in a 3-part story, and what the second chapter in these Star Wars trilogies do is that it gives us a twist. Not a lot of people talk about the twist in the second chapter, but it happens. There's a twist in Empire Strikes Back with Vader, and there's a twist in Attack of the Clones, but it's done terribly. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Watch it and figure it out. But I think we're going to get a twist in the next one. I think it's going to be to do with her character. I mean, I have my theories about what's going on with her. I think, like the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic video game, I think she's perhaps someone's used the Force to repress her memories. Maybe, we'll see, but this is an exciting film. It really just, I was nearly crying at several points in this film, just tears of joy, because I've got my Star Wars back. After the bad taste that the prequels left in my mouth, finally I have my Star Wars back. It's just total fun. I mean, it loses me at a few points. Couple of points, I'm not huge on the Maz Kanata scene. Not her character. Her character's fine. It's just, I feel the reveal that Finn is, when he admits to Rey that he's not when he's not who he says he is, and he's a stormtrooper on the run. I think it's a little bit, it could have been handled better, and it could have come out in a way that was more dramatic, more organic. And then straight away after that, we're not allowed to sort of see her react to that emotionally. We get that one shot of her sort of looking sad, but straight away we're in with the whole Force vision thing. I think it's just so much crammed into that section. I think the whole Force vision thing could have been when Kylo Ren was interrogating her, and we could have used that scene to really focus on Finn and her and the truth coming to light. And but like J.J. Abrams, not that you're ever going to watch this video, but applause from me as a huge Star Wars fan. Thank you so much for this film, and for laying the groundwork for it, more Star Wars films to come. Like, this is a great achievement, a great film. I prefer it to Return of the Jedi. Just putting that out on the table. It's not heresy. It's better than Return of the Jedi, and you know it. Return of the Jedi is great as well, anyway. But I love this film. I've seen it 8 times now, and I'm sure I'm going to see it a couple more times this year. Anyway, I've been Scott. This is Rogue Review. Hope you've enjoyed this. Like, subscribe, tell me what you think. Did you hate the review? Did you love it? Whatever. Catch you later, guys. May the 4th be with you. Peace.